What's really good? Welcome to the Call of Duty Championship presented by Xbox. We just saw OpTic get dismantled by Epsilon. The last two games were close. The round 11 Search and Destroy, Blitz was close, but Domination was, if you're a North American viewer, you were trying not to watch. So now that all said, we immediately after that, we had two other group matches that we're playing. We've got our bracket all sorted out. So if you're just tuning in for the event this weekend, we've now got it down to just 16 teams. So they all played eight groups of 4 teams in each one. Top 2 came out of each one of those groups. They got seeded 1 through 8 and 9 through 16. Basically, if you won your group outright, you replaced the 1 through 8 seeding. If you did not win your group outright and came in second, you replaced the 9 through 16. That's led for this matchup. TK, which was placed in the 1 through 8, is going to be playing against OpTic Gaming that got placed in the 9 through 16. So boom, just throwing some quick knowledge your way if you didn't know. And now we got OpTic Gaming versus TK in round number 1. What?
Yeah, it's
what?
You know, OpTic finished second in their pool. TK finished 3-0 in their pool with the number 1 seed coming out of their group.
It's crazy.
So there you go, randomization of those matches or of those teams.
And their seeding.
And Team Kaliber is coming out strong. So let's get those guys on the stage. This is going to be Team Kaliber coming out of North America. Both of these teams hailing from the United States.
Yeah.
Team Kaliber has 1 Canadian player on their roster, and that is Gunjar. But the rest are.
The question is, if you're out there on social, are you TK all day? With Formal the Slayer there, you've got Sharp. Look at Sharp. Give it. There it is. Gunjar, yes, the Canadian player, and then Theory as well. So what an amazing team in Team Kaliber. But now they've got to go against definitely the North American darling team in OpTic Gaming. After facing a tough loss against Epsilon, they've got to bounce back against a very tough team in TK. As you've got Nade Shot, Clayster, and that slow camera pan. There's Scumpy right there. Yeah, Scump, get a big smile in there. There it is, and Mbos as well. So OpTic Gaming versus TK. If you're a Call of Duty fan, this is going to be quite the treat, as both of these have very large audiences that follow them. Clearly, OpTic Gaming casts quite the shadow, but I'm excited for this matchup, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it should be an interesting match to say the least. TK's coming in so hot, and you have to think, you know, OpTic's got to try and pick it up after that 3-0 loss to Epsilon literally just, you know, minutes ago. So they're going to have to come in and face that hot TK team. But on the other side, OpTic just came off of a match. Maybe they're a little more warmed up.
I was going to say, I think there is an advantage. TK, it's their first match of the day. They haven't played since yesterday. OpTic Gaming, they had that slow start in Game 1, but that Game 2 and Game 3 against Epsilon was close. I mean, yeah, the Blitz kind of got away towards the end of it, the last couple minutes, but all things considered, you had a round 11 Search and Destroy and a pretty close game of Blitz for 8 minutes there. So it seems like naturally they're a little more warmed up going against TK. They've got to be happy that they got to play a match today.
Absolutely, and both of these teams have been competing on an amazing level.
Oh, they know these guys. I mean, they scrimmage too.
Yeah.
You know, they know these teams are very familiar with one another.
Yeah, and you know, I couldn't tell you in the MLG League what the split is.
Somebody out there could.
In terms of, yeah, somebody definitely can. But I'm gonna go ahead and I have to think that Team Kaliber has the advantage in the MLG League, just because OpTic is kind of near the bottom of the standings. But you know, I think Team Kaliber is going to come in looking pretty confident.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's an exciting match. I think TK is excited to try to take this opportunity. The thing about OpTic is when you compete against them, they have a large target on their back, because a lot of teams have this level of that they really want to beat OpTic to show where they stand. So there is a lot of pressure on these guys to perform. Clearly, when you have a large fan base, there's a lot of pressure. And then you've got TK, who they've come close to the championship. They finished second at MLG. And, you know, this is a team, the last 4 LANs that they've attended, they've placed top 4. They're out here trying to, like, finally close it up and get a championship. I mean, they're a really, really hungry team.
They really are.
They know they have the talent that can compete to get to the championship. They came very close during Complexity when they played them in the finals. So they're just trying to get over that mark and finally claim a big championship.
But at the same time, you know, the Green Wall, OpTic Gaming squad can come in at any moment and beat anybody in the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. This team, when they're clicking, they can make some big upsets happen, and not only that, they can actually threaten to win this whole world championship. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have the fan base that they have without being able to threaten for a championship at any time.
For sure.
So, you know, the fact that you have slayers like Scump on that team.
Yeah,
coming out of the U.S. regionals, he was the he was the number one slayer in average kills per game.
Yeah, 28.18 kills per game.
So he was number one in average kills per game. That didn't translate over to number one in kill death ratio, but he's such a run and gun, fast, aggressive player. If you get Scumpy in your face and he locks down the team in the respawn game types, you have to watch out for OpTic Gaming. Those guys that he has in tow for support. You have a great AR player in Clayster who can lock down the map behind Scump. You have Nadeshot and Imbos, both very veteran, experienced players. You have a lot of power on that team to make OpTic a powerful force. So
and Scump finished 5th out of the kill death ratio at US. So like even though he slayed and was number one there, he still had a high KD, finishing in the top 5. So you can't argue that he's one of the top players in North America.
Without a doubt.
And Formal, another player on TK, is also a very top slayer as well.
That's the contrast to this. This matchup is amazing because you have Team Kaliber complementing OpTic. The way these guys face off against each other, they very much seem similar. Goonjar with his AR play counters Clayster. You have Formal counting Scumpy. Then you have the filler guys on TK. Theory running objective play, very much like a Nadeshot or Imbos. And then you have Sharp also doing that kind of run and gun objective play. And I think that this matchup is going to be something that's going to be a treat. Just right to kick things off in our bracket. I wouldn't want it any other way here at the Call of Duty Championship presented by Xbox.
Absolutely. And game 1 is domination on Strike Zone. So the SMGs are going to be out. Yeah, it's going to be, that'll be interesting.
This is going to be awesome. It's going to be right away, we're going to be jumping into a game that's going to be insane. I mean, it's going to be such a fast game mode. So
yeah, I mean, Strike Zone is one of those domination games where like literally you spawn and they're in front of your face. So as we do a map fly through there, again, 5 minutes. If you're new to the Call of Duty competitive scene, you play 5 minutes on each side. Total points win. We switch after the first half, which is 5 minutes. There's 3 flag points on a map. Really, a big battle will happen down here in the B bar, trying to control that as well as one other capture point, and that's really what the 2 squads are going to be fighting for. Domination Strike Zone, you want to make sure you don't get stuck in just B. Sometimes that can get really ugly for a team. If they're able to hold A and C, you keep B stuck in the bar, and there's only so many exit points from that area that you can kind of get held at those choke points. So
yeah, your
you've
ideal
got to be mindful.
setup here is A and C, and look to for both these teams to battle for that AC map control. We want to control both those A and C flags at the same time.
It's a unique strategy that not necessarily something you see on other domination maps that you see on Strike Zone. So it should be exciting. And let's actually, we got to sit down and talk to some of the TK players and see how they've kind of their road to getting here. So let's start before we kick off this match and check out TK all day.
When you play video games professionally and you have teammates, you can think of them as teammates or as business partners. I think of them as friends.
We're like the only team that can sit down, all 4 of us, in a chat and talk for hours on end. You don't see any other teams be able to do that.
I watch a lot of other teams play, and they're always arguing and yelling at each other.
That's all they do. They complain to each other, and you can tell it hurts the team. And we're going to see it in a couple days here, why that hurts the team.
My teammates are all unique, that's for sure. You got Sharp, he's a comedian.
When I first had a team with him, I couldn't stop laughing.
Sharp is very loud, but not too loud, just a perfect amount. He taught me a lot when I came over. Theory is just as funny. Those 2 together are just hilarious.
He doesn't really show it too much when we stream scrims or when we're around people.
Theory is he was the first person to ever kind of give me a chance. He brought me up to where I am today.
Goonjar's got that like quiet little swag going on, and he's a really nice dude.
And then you got Formal, who's just like delusionally cocky.
I'm known for pure skill, the raw talent, just going around and just killing people.
He came from Halo, that's what we blame it on.
When I tell people I'm a pro gamer, they instantly, what is that?
They didn't believe it at first. No one really does.
I'm like, oh yeah, I play Call of Duty professionally, and then they'll just laugh about it and be like, yeah, I play professionally too. I play 8 hours a day.
When you get to travel, you get to make new friends, you get to meet new people, and it's just like adding to a bigger family. It's actually a really cool experience. Going to our next 2 matches tomorrow, win those 2, and we're in a tournament for $1 million. That's all that's on my mind.
We're not going to take any teams lightly, but we're definitely going to come to this event confident and thinking that we're going to beat every team.
The biggest challenge, without a doubt, is complexity. But they have to lose at some point. And if you don't think you can win a tournament, there's no point of showing up.
looks like we're just getting things here squared away. We're about to be able to jump into the room here. Domination Strike Zone's going to be game number 1.
See if we can get in.
Yeah, you can. Could only cue you so many times there. There we go. We're in. Yeah, Stro. Now it begins. Everybody's waiting for this match. I think we're all as excited as everybody else out there. You've got 2 very big North American teams squaring off, and this, without a doubt, will be fun to watch.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to getting this one started. I mean,
yeah.
If there's any match you want to be watching right now, it'd probably be this one. If there's one match that you could kick off,
yeah,
you know, the North American fans
there's
especially are going to be very
strictly
familiar.
business.
Well, there are lots of amazing matches. There's a TCM complexity match
one?
too.
Yeah, that was the other one.
I mean, there are other games that just light
they're all
it up.
good when it's like the supposed.
Absolutely.
It's supposed to be the top 16 teams in the world.
But you look at some of these matchups. I mean, Epsilon versus Vitality Rises.
Yeah,
I mean, the French versus the UK guys. So I mean, here we go. We're in this game now. We're going to go ahead and jump on board with one of these teams. We're going to figure out who that is in a second. There we go.
Oh, Astro. And this is the second half. No, I'm just playing.
They're all dying.
As we jump in here, it's a good start for TK here. As you can see, they're racking up some kills. And let's move on to who are you trying to watch there? Goonjar, as we jump on board with Theory here. Astro's still getting that driver's seat down for concasting. As Theory, let's see what he can do for the TK team. He obviously came up very big for the squad yesterday and put on a show. He's going to catch a knife from Scumpy right there as we switch over to Goonjar. Clayster takes him out. Now Formal, a Slayer for TK that really does his job for this squad, making sure that he can take everybody out that he gets in a fight with, getting up a nice kill there as Formal takes out Embos. They're going to make a push for B. OpTic does control both A and B. So this is a nice pickup for OpTic to rack up some of these points, and you've got TK trying to get in there, contest it, and pull this B flag away from the OpTic Gaming squad as Scump goes in there, takes out Formal, who moved his way into B.
Yeah, and Formal looked like he was just trying to cut off that front A side for his teammates to pick up A, but he actually moved into B there. And right now, you see TK having to wrap all the way back around now because they got taken out coming over to that A flag. So Theory now with a teammate picking up that B flag capture, and TK with control of those 2 flags now. And Theory's just going to cut off this A side, A stairs. He's got Sharp with a cross right now. This is a great setup by Team Kaliber.
Sticking on board with Theory here. He's just keeping an eye out on B. They're going to be trying to get C. Somebody's taking it away for the OpTic Gaming squad, and Theory just got blown up right there. I think that was Embos that was able to pick him up. Sharp picks up a nice 2-piece, taking out both Embos and Clayster. Formal backpedaling a little bit to get these guys that he knows that are trying to sneak into B. Looks into C if anybody's down there, and he will go for the C cap. Knowing that he is losing A and B, though, this is going to be 1 cap for TK.
Well, yeah,
and not even able to get that. So OpTic Gaming playing really well here to kick off domination. And you've got TK stuck in B with OpTic Gaming controlling both A and C. It's going to be up to TK to break this hold.
Yeah, no, OpTic Gaming gets 3 down. And there you see the spawn trap coming out now from OpTic. This is a great opportunity for them to rack up some points. And Sharp just trying to get outside of their base right now on the B side. So it looks like Sharp actually managed to push through with maybe Goonjar right there in tow. Goonjar goes down. Sharp, he's tagged up. He's really weak right now, but he's going to go ahead and jump on the C flag nonetheless. Meanwhile, OpTic jumping on that B flag. Let's jump on board with them and see what they're up to. You see them kind of hovering around the B side. It looks like they're going to be able to pick up that B flag, and they control A. So now another 2 flags set up for OpTic Gaming.
And a kill out of Scump. He's protecting people coming out of the pro shop trying to take A. And OpTic Gaming controlling both B and A to make sure that they're getting the points that they need for this matchup. 47-40, a 7-point lead here with 2 minutes left in the half. Scump finally getting taken out. That's actually going to be 3 players down for OpTic, leaving Nadeshot up all alone in B, as now they are going to be losing A to TK. They're going to try to get out of B so they don't get stuck in here and go for that C cap.
Yeah, this is the situation OpTic doesn't want to be in, but Nadeshot picking up a nice kill right there to push his team out to C flag. He's got 3 players there with OpTic Gaming, and that's going to be a big C flag cap for them, it looks like. Actually, there is 1 player from TK contesting that now. And there you go. They do manage to get control of the C and B flags.
Yeah, big heads-up play for Nadeshot to recognize 3 are down and that he had his C gone. He had to go push out, got that a good kill. They were able to backpedal, hold on to B, but yet again losing C as TK fighting hard to control that A and C, and this time trying to turn it around and push OpTic into the B cap only.
Yeah, and Scump just started to heat up, so we're going to jump on board with him. Big kill out of Scump right here. He's got a teammate with him, but a TK player comes in and just smokes both of them. Who was that for TK? I'm going to try and jump over to them and see who that was. It looks like it was Formal going big for Team Kaliber, and he's picking up that A flag cap as well.
And Formal gets taken out there, and I believe that was at the hands of Nadeshot. And let's see as we jump on board with Sharp for TK, 65-60, a very close domination game so far. Both of these teams have obviously gone back and forth a lot. Battle going down at B. Scump's going to take out Goonjar. Goonjar picking up another Formal rather than trying to pick up that kill. Does finally get it, but it's taken out right after by Embos. That's going to be 3 down for OpTic Gaming with only Scump up as the rest of the TK team is spawning in.
Now, Theory was struggling a little bit a second ago. He was 4-11. Now he's made it 8-12. So he's kind of gone off in the last 30 seconds or so. And Team Kaliber is about to take the lead over OpTic Gaming. And now you see Theory pushing for this flag here at B. He's not going to be able to pick that up, but forces some OpTic players to come back to that B flag. Meanwhile, you have, looks like Nade Shot capping the C flag here. He's going to pick that up for OpTic, and that's going to give them 1 more point on the board. But look how close the game is here, Fwiz, between OpTic and Team Kaliber. OpTic take a 1-point lead headed into the second half of this map number 1 in our best of 5 series.
Well played by both squads there. Hard fought battle. Theory did have a slow start to your point, was able to put 5 caps on the board for his squad, and as you can look at the stats, very evenly matched between these two teams. A lot of them mirroring, and Scump with 17 kills on the leaderboard. So couldn't ask for it to be really much closer than it is right here going into the second half.
Oh, absolutely not. And, you know, the Rumble pack just went off in the controller, so you know what that means.
For sure.
It didn't do that all day yesterday. It knows. It knows.
It knows what's really good.
Yeah, it really does. And taking a look at the scoreboard here, you see Scumpy living up to the hype. He was, again, had the highest average kills per game in the U.S. Regional Championship there, and now he is living up to that again. 17-11 with 2 captures. He's the reason OpTic is in this game right now, and with that 1-point advantage.
All right, well, let's load it back up in here, get into the second side of this domination. 1-point difference here in favor of OpTic Gaming as they were able to get a close cap there towards the end to that one that was neutralized that made the difference.
And look at Theory. He was struggling so hard in that game early on, and then he came back and he had top score for his team. I mean, he was doing the objective work. To be fair, you know, you're never going to have the best kill-death ratio when you're doing all that objective work, especially in a map like Strike Zone.
I was going to say, see more caps obviously happen on Strike Zone, where there's more, just generally speaking, more caps that are happening on a smaller map like that because it's so much back and forth, and you're constantly seeing these points contested. Both of these teams found one another stuck in B. Both of them actually did a good job pushing themselves out of that. We didn't really, again, the score speaks for himself. It was very evenly matched between these two teams.
Yeah, and I think the second half is going to be no different. The map is loading up right now.
You think it's going to be? You think it's going to come down to the wire?
Come down to the wire.
I feel like one of these teams. Yeah. Now that makes sense. I feel like one of these teams might blow it out in the last 2 minutes, though. So I'm ready to see it. Let's see if it happens.
Let's check it out. We're going to jump into this game right now, and let's take a look at who can do what.
Who can do what, my friend?
Yeah.
Truer words have never been spoken.
That's right. So I don't know who you want to spectate first, Fwiz.
Let's get on board with, you know what? Nade Shot.
That's who I was going for myself.
Yep.
You know, I mean, let's watch it.
He's got a lot of fans out there. We joke around and stuff, and a lot of people want to see him. And when we don't show him, then people are very mean to us.
Well, I mean, it's not just that. I mean, there's a lot of pressure in the situation. And no, I'm just saying there's a lot of pressure in the situation. Let's see how he performs. You know, I mean, here's Clayster now on your screen. He's got to get this kill on the C flag. He doesn't manage to do it, and that's going to be advantage towards TK right now.
Yeah, 3
as
down.
They do have men in the B flag as well. But actually, OpTic did a great job pushing into that B side, but that's the only flag they're going to have control of, as TK does have the A and C flag set up now. So a good early start for Team Kaliber.
Yeah, and actually it was really Goonjar that led the way. He went 3-0 and got a cap there, so Goonjar had an amazing start to help out the TK squad there. Formal getting taken out by Clayster, who was on C. As we switch back over to Nade Shot, he too gets taken out. Clayster on a little bit of a roll, but gets taken out by Sharp, who picked up the 2-piece on both Nade Shot and Clayster there. As we're sticking on with the OpTic squad in the eyes of Embos, as they are just getting knocked out left and right, as that was going to be Formal that takes out Embos. Jumping on board with the Team Kaliber squad, we've got Goonjar, who's trying to pull out C, looking up there, picks up a huge kill on Embos, and solo caps that. Great job by Goonjar, holding it down for the squad. They've got a lead starting to build up for them, as Goonjar is doing really well. 6-1 with 3 caps. He sees one more here. Let's see if he's able to get the kill. And no, must not have seen that player who was Nade Shot, making sure that they don't lose A. Formal clearing him off of B, holding both B and C. Has 2 on the steps, picks up 1 while stunned, gets pushed there. That is going to be Clayster, rather Embos, that pushes him and takes him out. So Formal was off to a good run there.
Yeah, that was a huge run by Gunjar, too.
Gunjar,
I mean,
yeah.
Gunjar was just running around, slaying everything, but right now OpTic's coming right back with a fury. You see 3-4 players go down for Team Kaliber, but Team Kaliber has jumped out to a 16-point lead here, but OpTic Gaming now has 2 flags. Let's see if they can actually manage to get a little bit of a setup here on TK and rack up a few points to bring it back. We have 3 minutes left to go. If you're just joining us, this is map number 1, Team Kaliber versus OpTic Gaming. This is the first match in our bracket here at the Call of Duty Championship presented by Xbox. We are now down to our 16 final teams, and they have 2 matches that they can lose before they're out of this tournament.
Yeah, no, it's group play is over. It's double elimination time, and for obvious reasons, you don't want to find yourself going into a loser bracket with all that talent that's in there. So much money on the line, high expectations for both of these squads to finish, you know, without a doubt in the top 4, but this is it right here on the line as we're on board with Sharp. He gets taken out by Kaliber. That's actually going to be 3 TK members that get dropped. Theory up all alone for his squad, waiting for his friends to respawn in. He's going to get taken out as well. But timing, at least the rest of the TK squad was able to go on. Kaliber losing that gun battle with Sharp in a 1v1 as we jump on board with Empo. He's going to chuck a Semtex in there. Not able to connect on that, as he just wants to make sure nobody takes B, and there's 3 TK players in there. Embos and Scump trying to make something happen.
Oh, huge play out of Embos.
Gunjar and protect that base. Embos is doing just that as he's able to hold B. He's firing shots everywhere.
Yeah, he's just hyped right now. Money
Ric
B.
Flair woos are coming out.
That's right. He's just so pumped right there after picking up that big 2-piece. That was a massive 2-piece, by the way. TK would have gotten control. And look at OpTic. They're going for this 3-cap, trying to get back in the game and close TK out. They've now taken the lead over Team Kaliber. This is going to be huge for them. A minute and a half left to go. TK is in a lot of trouble right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Minute and 23 seconds left. That's a good time for OpTic to just kind of turn it up a little bit. And Embos is on fire right now. Going to stay on this man.
But look at this. TK's inside the B flag right now. That is going to be Theory, who just picked up the capture on B. Team Kaliber now with 2 flags controlled. OpTic only up 8 points overall in this domination, so they're going to have to really pick up a flag here. Here comes Gunjar down the stairs.
Oh, that was a big miss.
That was a huge kill. Kaliber going massive right now for OpTic. Big time plays out of him.
That could have cemented the win, and with how big of a stop that was, they can continue to hold that. Embo's not getting in. However, a TK player in there. Scump picks up a huge kill, only allowing it to get neutralized there, but they'll take that over losing it. However, they are starting to lose the A site as well, as we're going to jump on board with Kaliber here, who's been doing a phenomenal job holding A. This time he's got to secure it back from TK, who was able to pick that flag up and neutralize it. So Kaliber trying to lock that under OpTic's name. He does that.
Oh, and here we go.
Gets taken out. C in control and A in control for OpTic Gaming, which is exactly what they needed to shut this game down. And it looks like, without a doubt, OpTic Gaming going to pull the win out here on Domination Strike Zone.
And you know what? Embos was at the C flag. I switched to him a little late, but he went massive, picking up a huge kill on TK at that C flag to lock it down for OpTic Gaming. And there you go.
He enabled that beast mode at the end.
Yeah, so OpTic Gaming had a big stumble early this morning, losing to Epsilon in what was a pretty one-sided round, 3-0 to Epsilon, and they come roaring back here versus Team Kaliber. Big games out of Scump and Embos for OpTic Gaming. Huge plays out of both of them, and there you see Nade Shot on your final kill cam with the hip fire.
The Scump and Kaliber hype train gets real after they win.
My controller just vibrated again.
Oh my gosh.
It's really kind of telling the tale of what's going on here. But there you see Nade Shot and Kaliber on your screen for OpTic Gaming. They've got to be pumped after that first map win. That's got to give them a lot of confidence heading into map number 2 here versus Team Kaliber. Here come the replays, Fwiz. Let's take a look at what just went down in this game. You have Formal going off huge here at the beef site, picking up 2 big kills. You see his shot is just on point, and now Scump picking up this A-flag capture. 1 player coming through the courtyard for TK. No big deal, Scump. Perfect shots right there to pick that one up, and the flag contest. And now you have Theory pushing in to that B flag, going to throw a pre-nade there, but he gets taken out there, that B flag, and that was a big momentum changer. OpTic picking up that setup.
Yeah, they got the point difference there at the end of the game, and although a point really doesn't mean anything, it really was where you started to see OpTic kind of get a little bit more excitable in the booth there, getting a little more hyped up, and then this game was close. To your point, you called it. It was close all the way down to the wire. But at the end there, you just saw Embos and the rest of the squad just turn up on another level, and that's really what made the difference at the end of this game. So nice play out of them.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, both of you and I are glued to the screen over here when it
know.
cuts back to
When it
us.
cuts to us
It's
and we're like-
we can see ourselves. We're like, wow.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
I mean,
hello, everyone.
it's a good game going down, and it's a huge one. It's a really, really big matchup, and the top of this bracket is stacked. Like, it's literally
stacked.
where these guys are playing right now. It's OpTic, Team Kaliber, SB, and Envy, all in the same four group bracket right there. So, you know, that's not easy by any means.
The whole bracket is a bracket of death.
It is. The whole bracket is, but those 4 teams right there, considering that they play each other so much, they're all North American teams that are all very familiar, all within, you know, probably the top 8 teams in North America. That's
Preach it. Take them to church.
That's where we're going,
That's
man.
where we're going.
All day long. All day long.
So a big win coming out of OpTic Gaming there in game number 1. But before we jump into game number 2, let's throw it down on the floor with Justine.